Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Amy Jurek here with Remax. I am joined by my good friend here, Julie Lyden. Thanks so much for coming on, Julie. Julie and I met many years ago, and we met actually when we were starting our businesses pretty much back in 2005. Met each other in our networking group and have been friends ever since. Never before had I worked with anybody in an energy type related profession. So it was a learning lesson, always is every time. And it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things and a lot of awareness of people and experiences, how to take things in and how to really process. So I thought it'd be great if Julie could join us and talk a little bit as we are in this festive week, take a break from all the seriousness of real estate and take a break and talk about Halloween and how it affects us and how it affects our homes and really are there spirits out there. So Julie, thank you so much for coming on board today.
Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for having me. This is always fun to connect with new people.
Yes, exactly. So I tour a lot of homes. I'm in all sorts of different properties, old, new, different clients of all sorts of backgrounds. And rarely do people ever talk to me about haunted houses, being scared, all of that, probably because they are nervous. I'd be like, what? What do you mean? You know, let's talk about the tangible things that are here and in this property. So there are things that people don't share with their agent. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of answer some questions that maybe some people would have out there about spirits in properties. So,
okay.
I think the biggest thing is probably because of movies and shows is any kind of scary house is that turn of the century Victorian with that white crooked fence in the front and like some weird like crow on the top. I don't know. You know what I'm saying with front porch and all that. So that's probably not true. So I kind of wanted you to just elaborate a little bit. When we see homes like this, when we get that sense, that's just a visual sense, right? From things that we have seen in cinema, right?
Yeah. And that's what most people, when you think of haunted houses, that's kind of the image that conjures up for most people. Yeah. But I feel like we just want to even take a step back and say, can we all agree that everything's energy? Yeah. And if we all can agree with that, then that opens up a wide conversation and unlimited possibilities of what's really, let's say, out there. Mm. I always say everything's weird until you experience it, and then all of a sudden it's not weird anymore.
Then it turns normal. And it turns to normal, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure most of us thought the internet was weird when we first heard about it, but now it's an integral part of our lives. So, right. Yeah. So, well, let's just kind of define, well, what is haunted house? Like what happens, you know? And my experience with this is it's disincarnate souls. That means souls that have died, and many times in the past it's been from a traumatic death. Okay. A lot of times it was abrupt, and they think they're still alive, still in this physical world, yeah. And they haven't quite passed over into the next. And so they kind of get stuck in between dimensions. And so therefore, depending upon the disincarnate spirit and what they were attached to in the physical earth plane, depends upon our experiences with them.
Okay. So it's not always a mad, scary spirit energy. No. It can be all sorts of things, is what you're alluding to.
Right. It can be in all ages. All ages. I grew up in a house that was haunted, and we just called them angels growing up because there was things would move around, lights would turn on, and because we grew up with it, it really wasn't that scary for us, and it didn't feel icky, it just felt like, oh, those are the angels playing with us.
Mhm.
So part of it is your perception and your references to that. Now, there are also, I call them nuisance
Mhm.
ones that
Mhm.
love to play tricks on you, like hide your car keys or your wallet, or move
Yeah.
things around, and then they sit and snicker. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
but for the most part, and then there's some that it's just like as above, so below, right? There's some that are angry.
Yeah.
They didn't get what they thought they wanted in that incarnation, so they're still holding that.
Hmm.
Um, so that's kind of a bridge of
Right.
plethora of different
So,
experiences.
so you grew up in a haunted house, and you say we. I'm assuming you came from a big family then.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
10 of us, 10 kids.
Whoa. Whoa.
So, I mean, there was plenty. We'd be like, did you do that? Did you?
Right? You could
Like,
be
no, honest, I
blaming,
didn't.
yeah, blame the youngest and it's somebody else. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Okay. So in your particular example, in your own home, was it one spirit that was in your property or a family?
My experience was there was a couple, and
Hmm.
the house was built in 1916, which is turn of
Yep.
the century, basically.
Yep.
But as I awoke and kind of tuned in and had some other friends that also tuned into energy,
Yeah.
what we realized is there was like a covered wagon
Hmm.
accident where souls left, they
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
And then that's really the residue of those souls. So
Mhm.
in their experience, they were just homesteaded and they
Yeah.
thought they were there.
Yep. Right. They weren't done. Oh, wow. Oh my
And so,
goodness.
well, and then there's things you can do about
Mhm.
these too, and you
Okay.
can clear them
Okay.
if it's something that, really we do them a favor when we recognize them and
Mm.
help them go to the other side and move on with their soul's journey. But my mom, when I started this, I go,
Mhm.
Mom, do you want me to clear the ghosts in this house? And
Mhm.
she's like, well, I don't know. Just kind of I'm kind of used to it. They're kind of like she goes, they're kind of my friend.
I love it. I love that. That is classic. Oh my gosh, that's lovely. So, if someone comes to me after they've moved into a home, could have been recently, many years ago, and they're like, "Hey, I got to be honest with you. I feel there's something here." What kind of advice can I give them? What can you do to help them, to ease them if it's not comforting for them to have this kind of situation?
Right. Well, and I would say if you're if you're sensitive, if you're sensing, even if you think
Mhm.
something's going on, there's a reason why you're thinking that. First of all, I say trust your knowing,
Yeah.
and there are things you can do to address it.
Mhm.
Mostly, you can educate yourself how
Mhm.
to support clearing souls to help them
Mhm.
move along,
Yep.
or it's something energy people do, like someone like me.
Yep.
I do clear the energy of spaces. I
Mhm.
do house blessings
Okay.
um, because the house is an entity in and of itself. And
Mhm.
so when we start to commune with things at that level, we can have a completely different experience with
Mhm.
what we call inanimate objects.
Yep.
And I'll just give you a quick experience from this house that I've lived
Mhm.
in now for 30 years.
Mhm.
When I got my daughter could really, I feel, when she was younger, really saw things, and
Mhm.
I never discounted it because, again, even though I was Catholic, whatever,
Mhm.
I grew up with that. And so I just say, oh, and she'd go, Mom, there's this little girl playing on my vanity at night. And
Mhm.
I'd say, oh, okay. Well, are you afraid? She's like, no, I just see her playing there.
Wow.
Well, I never
Yeah.
saw it, but they were the first night they were away and staying at their dad's house.
Mhm.
In the middle of the night, something woke me up, and I open my eyes and I see this like 12-year-old girl with pigtails kind of looking at me going, and I actually saw it.
Mhm.
And at that point, I would have kind of thought I was dreaming or imagining it, but
Yeah.
my golden retriever went right to that spot and was barking.
Yeah.
Um, and of course, as soon as you look, then you get out of that state of consciousness and then they disappear.
Yeah.
You know, they're still there, but we're no longer seeing them. And so I was like, wow, this must have been what my daughter's talking about all these years.
Right.
And so I just connect with them and I just say, you know, what's your name? And they usually give you a name. And then I'll say, what do you want? A lot of times they go, oh, we just want to have fun, or we like living here, or whatever. They give different answers. Yeah. And I'll just say, well, you're dead and it's time to move on to next. It's time to go to the light. And you can just support them in that. And they leave. And then the house gets quiet and those lights don't go on and off anymore.
You stop losing things. Yes.
Yeah. Keys stop disappearing and all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. You know, often I'm in all kinds of different transactions, and sometimes people find out why people move. Of course. Hey, why are they moving? Oh, they moved into a nursing home. Oh, they got a divorce. All sorts of life-changing things. And I do, when there are those types of maybe more negative bummer things like a divorce, or, you know, they knew there was sadness in the house, people do get kind of, you know, they do get a little locked up from that. Like they're going to walk into that. So with your clearing process that you do, or blessing of a house, you know, is that also, could that also help with someone's situation coming into someone else's maybe poor exit out of a property?
You know, yes. And in my opinion, I feel everyone could you benefit from a cleansing, because if energy is like dust, let's say, that, just to give the mind something, that, you know, people leave their dust behind and they don't know they're leaving dust behind, but they are, and it's there. And then you start vacuuming and cleaning it and you go, wow, I didn't know all this dust was here. But that's the same with energy. So, you know, it's a good thing if you really want to start fresh is to clear out any, what I call dissonant energies or discordant energies, and then bring in what there can be an intention to of what the homeowners want, to infuse or anchor in that space. But basically it's anchoring the essence of the truth of who we are, and that is love, living our very essence.
Yes.
So
wow.
And it makes a difference. People just feel really good. At one point, I even did, I called it in harmony energy painting. And I would cleanse people's spaces and intentionally do all this energy work on their walls before they painted it, just because I did it for fun, just because I love to paint. But I had this one client, his son had gotten into addiction, all kinds of different addictions. And he finally went to treatment, and he's like, I can't even go in that room. It feels so wow. And he said, would you come? And I said, absolutely. So we even got rid of all the bedding and everything, because it all holds energy. And we thank it as, you know, nothing's really good or bad. It things that feel good and things that don't, and things that are helpful and things that aren't. So we don't have judgment around it. But he went and bought all the comforters and all that stuff. And then we did that. And it was like a completely different experience. He couldn't believe how different that felt. So speaking to what you said, a lot of times people don't know, or sometimes they do know what has gone on in that space. It's important to support your home. That is where, you know, that is your haven. That is where you're fostering memories and your own family things.
Wow. Yeah. That's a really interesting story. Wow. Great. Well, for anybody out there that would like to chat further with Julie, learn about her background, how she can help you. This is one of so many things Julie and I have chatted over the years about, but I wanted to bring her in and have some fun and just, you know, explain what's out there, and have a place for people to go that might not want to talk to maybe this type A type personality of a realtor, and how they can set up their home for the next step, whatever that might be, in exiting any maybe good or bad memories that are existing in that that structure. So I put Julie's phone number here. Please feel free to reach out to her if you have any questions or you want to sit down and have a chat or have her stop by your property for a blessing or a clearing. That'd be great. I wish everybody out there an awesome, happy Halloween. Safe. It feels like Halloween. It's raining and dreary and 50 degrees, just like we like it in Minnesota for Halloween, right?
Right. And I got a little friend here.
Nice. Nice. I love it. I love it. Oh,
Why not have some fun?
gotta have some fun. We totally do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Julie, thank you so much for your time. It was so great to see you.
Lovely. Lovely connecting, Amy. And thank you. And thanks to all of you that have tuned in.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.